I'll put my face in your pie.
I'll make you a piece.
I just did the audio live by accident, and that was 100% live. And Scott knew it. Scott knew I was bungling it, and that was absolutely a thing that happened.
Well,
that's going to be your new subscriber alert.
I say to Dean Cuddy because he's a sexy man. Even if he does think he's Eminem with his beanie cap.
So, after a little bit of time, you come up. Oh, I was confused by the dog because it sounded like Dean being ill in my mindset.
I triggered her.
Two of those were perfectly in time, and they were. How does he know? Give me a minute.
That was too much for me. It's not gonna get better.
Every time I tried to look away, he was still doing it. Oh, I had no protection. There was no refraction period. It would just load after load of laughs. Alright. Huh.
Can't call laughs load.
I just did.
I triggered my dog.
Aww.
I did a fake bark and she was like, "Rah, rah, rah."
So, after a little bit of time, the rest of the party comes back up to the meeting room to see it all in disarray. It's not like the party's over. It's not a peace talk anymore. It's an investigation. Ish. Trying to sort things out.
It's one dwarf with a stick pacing backwards and forwards. One of you has betrayed the diplomatic talks. We will find you. Etc. You know, we have ways of making.
We get it. I get it.
If that was Ollie doing that, it would have been a really good German impersonation. But because it was Neil, it wasn't.
Don't give me credit when it's not due. So,
because that would have been like a really good voice alteration and everything. Like that would have been amazing. But instead, it was just Neil sounding dumb. So.
As it is. So, you guys come back. Amelia obviously sees you guys back because it probably the guards shuffle about and make a lot of noise while they do. And you know, it's an elf, a human, and Melody.
Do we tell Amelia?
What did you guys find out?
We cured Gil of his STD that he got from Humble.
Oh?
He was tainted by some power of Orcus. Perhaps a small fragment of power from a demon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I was rude to you. And at the time it was really fun. But now I kind of regret doing that because it doesn't feel fun anymore.
Oh,
unless it happens again.
I don't know whether I can blame that on me being cursed by.
I want to blame it on that.
It happens, I guess.
So I'm sorry.
We'll leave it at that. I accept your apology.
All right, cool.
Question mark?
Yeah, it's like very awkward conversation. Which is what I want.
Well, I'm trying to smooth things over with the two parties. I'm not doing a very good job at it. I'm not very good at small talk.
Oh,
I tried to bring up the carvings, and they didn't seem to enjoy that. I tried to make the weather. They didn't really care for that either. Gilwin, maybe you could fix this?
Politics and wordy things are more veils.
You
but
say
this
this.
Political. This is casual.
Kaspak actually walks over to you. He's like, "Don't worry, Les. Talks will continue again tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the day after that. We have time. Don't worry." And then he actually will just straight walk away again. before Vale will be like,
Well, Kaspak, what are you doing today? Like, we have time, right?
I have time.
You're asking him on
and then he just looks at Lady Builder
No, I'm
like...
asking him to join us.
What? Join you with what? What are you doing?
Well, we usually go to a tavern and converse and have fun.
I am under somewhat strict instruction to not leave certain areas of the palace. I need motions to the fact that his lower jaw is bone. Which sometimes you forget, because you're just used to it by now.
Right.
Amelia, maybe you should go and brush the lady builder's hair. It might calm her down somewhat, and if you just speak to her about her city, rather than what's going on here.
Vale, she's not a horse. You can't just brush her.
I'm really not about like physical contact with people. I don't really want to brush her hair.
Don't worry. Just hand the comb here. I'll do it.
No.
It works on everything.
I don't think it will
Animals,
work.
humans.
No, Bale. No.
I did it on Gil once when he was depressed. Felt much better afterwards.
Did you?
Yes, he didn't want to wash, and so
I wasn't asking you, Vale. I was asking Gil.
Vale's creepy.
I don't remember
And
this,
racist.
so I was probably asleep, and Vale was
Or
imagining
drunk.
this.
Vale's a creepy racist.
No, I'm not.
So,
Hey, you are Vale. We know why, but you are.
It looks like Scott's got the world's biggest sausage on his lap.
her name is Bratwurst too. It's funny.
Her name is Bratwurst. It's like one of those things. Hey, Dean Cuddy, would you like to see my Bratwurst?
Aww.
Oh, you ruined it.
Cute.
Barney is the best dog.
Wow,
like a good
sweet.
dog.
Did you just say that with Penny in the room?
Penny is in the other room actually.
Oh, it's okay then. It's okay then.
But
You
if I
can
was
you can
Penny,
throw
I
shade
could-
behind the dog's back, but never to them.
She did use the noun dog, not cat.
Hey.
Maybe that's why I like Penny.
Vale,
Fair.
Vale,
Penny
You
please,
break
also- never mind.
please do not stroke the hair of a woman who is in charge of diplomatic talks. Please don't do that.
Just brushing.
Vale, actually,
I wish Sally was here.
we should probably have a conversation about this because you tried to kiss me the other day and I wasn't very appreciative of it.
What?
You really should like ask. A
Whoa, whoa,
person
whoa, whoa,
for-
whoa, whoa, wait, Amelia, say that again and slowly, please. And I'll
No.
turn to look at Vale.
No.
Let me cast minor image first. I need to recreate this scene.
And I swear to God, Vale, like if you do that again, I will try out Sid's new spell that he made for me.
Look, the point is, we
It's
were
not
about
a
to
good
get
one.
we were about to get discovered because someone here can't look passive. She was like this at the door. He was about to come through and spot them. We didn't really want to make them think we had been doing this at the door. Anyway, they came through and thought we were having a lover's tiff. So problem solved.
Oh.
Gil, take it, stop.
No,
Well-
please, go on.
Please. I want to see him come to her.
What I was suggesting was maybe we could have a social gathering with these parties tonight rather than like a formal thing. Like maybe we could just play games and have fun.
Dinner party.
A dinner party.
Amelia, that sounds like a really good idea, but if one thing goes wrong in these sorts of situations, it's like a domino effect. Do you have dominoes? Do elves have dominoes?
Why don't we just have Casback and
I'm not an
Lady
elf.
Builder-
Play the game, Amelia. Play
Gilwyn.
the game.
Gilwyn. You think humans invented dominoes?
No, I'm asking if you have them.
It was the dwarves.
I was gonna say Domino's seems dwarven done it.
Right.
Yeah, pieces of
I
stone.
put the
dots
rectangle
on it.
here.
It's a nice idea. I don't think it's the best idea.
I
Why
think it's a
not?
wonderful idea.
Casback, the Lady Builder, a bit of wine, a bit of my wolf's
Fun.
heart, brandy, whatever it was. I can't remember.
It was wine.
I named it. I gave it to it. Perhaps the
We could have fun.
Plague Church fellow as well, and we get them used to each other a bit more. They're going to be working together. It would be best if the Lady Builder was relaxed around Casback. Not to mention, if there are forces of Orcus at play, it would be safer for them to be with us for some of the night.
A very large portion of these negotiations revolve around the deathless being viewed as people. we should show them that they are people, that they have interests and ideas and thoughts, and they are capable of engaging in leisure activities.
Foreplay. Oh.
I agree. And let's not invite Sid. Let's leave him with Fulcrum.
Whoa!
Have we gotten Sid yet?
No, Sid is off. Which is funny, because Sid's the only one who kind of knows what's going on.
Ah,
I mean, he will be busy working, no?
We're planning a party. This is more important than the plot.
he's also semi-diplomatic.
I know, it's so funny, and I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to force them to get Sid. They're planning a party!
Oh, party! Oh, look at this! I've got, poppers and noise makers and what's the matter with you?
Although Domino's is a very good list of things I should introduce Melody to.
Melody?
We'll add that to it.
Just smiles at Melody.
Look, this is fine. We'll do this. But I'm just saying, if there's one off-color comment or one dodgy glance, things could tumble.
You're worried about it turning into an orgy, I see.
Raw.
Well, Krasbeck is deathless, so it probably won't.
Oh, thank God for that. Vale.
But I was going to tap him on the shoulder. Now,
Alright.
where's my manservant got to? We can send him out to get some wine. I'm going to find Sid.
While they actually do the actual planning. Amelia, are you going to do it in this room that you already have some sway over? There will need to be some cleanup, but that's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
I thought we'd have it in our common room, like very small.
Wherever we
Just-
can.
You can.
Yeah.
That's fine if you want to do common room.
Yeah, like very small, just a common room. Lady Builder, Caspac, maybe
Catalan.
Catalan, who has recently seceded from Spain.
Oh, there
Or
will
tried.
be more.
Who tried? Yeah. Politics. Yeah, and Catalan, and
Politics.
maybe the elf.
You already finished that. If Caspak's going, the elf is probably going to be
Yeah.
in the room either way. Because he just shadows or scouts.
Gilman,
From your
stop!
experience.
You can cheer yourself up now. There's no need to hate yourself anymore.
You got so much to lit. Vale, you go looking around. You actually find your way to a part in this palace, which seems to be well. It's actually you've been here before. This was when you were where you were basically told to go when you entered the city to prove that you entered the city officially, right? It's down with the lawmakers or the law keepers.
Do I hear like a muffled grunting from Sid?
No, but you hear Sid a mile away. Like you're like 4 turns and like several flights of stairs before you go to a room. And it's actually what's going on in the room is fairly interesting. Where
Oh my god, humans can bend like that?
was that Sid?
Even Ian's getting in on it. You know it's legit when Ian gets.
where
I can resist it.
where it's a small room. It's sort of like it's almost like a closet for other people, but it's a dwarven place, so it's probably just actually a small side room. There's a table.
Sid's literally in a closet with another man.
Listen, Sid is the science woo girl. Okay.
There
all it
is the orb is on the table. In the middle of a what looks like a tablecloth at first to Vale, but you realise there's a lot of arcane runes on the thing, and Sid knows that this is keeping magic. It's not keeping magic in, but it will keep magic in. But nothing's happening now, but there's a crack in it. Neither of you really want to cast mending on it.
No.
So he just put this out, and he had it like as a handkerchief, and it keeps the magic in. Neither of them notice you walk in, Vale, and they're just sort of like Fulcrum's got a spell book out and just sort of like, oh, and it's definitely necromancy. That's not a surprise though. Honestly, it would have been weird if it was anything else. Quite unsettling, honestly. Everything's
Yeah, I
always
still say that you need to find an epoxy, a magic resistant epoxy that could at least fill in the gap a little bit.
Well, I'm more curious about when, because eventually I'm going to want to crack this open either way.
Well,
Right?
sure, but we have to find the appropriate containment field to do that. And so
I
we
have a
to test the
box
glass
back
that's-
at my tower, but this is not my tower. I don't
But
have
is
the
it going to be a
resources.
box? I mean, I have no problem opening it, say, like, and I just into my bag, with extra dimensional space. But I don't think it's a good idea for us to just choose like a random bit of glass for us to
It's
open
not
it up inside.
A box. It's a magically sealed box where magical effects are fused inside, passed down for
wait a
several
second.
generations.
And it can actually contain whatever is going on inside of it.
I'm not
but-
sure if it will fit in here. It will once I've smashed it.
Oh yeah, sure. But it's also this is of some type of what was the word? Fiendish. We'll just say fiendish creation.
Definitely
And
fiendish.
That being said,
Melody goes and picks up Sid.
like oh hi Melody.
Oh, your friends are here. Sorry, colleagues.
My friend and my employer. Yes.
This is the
We're kind of friends as well.
Fulcrum, by the way. Pleasure to meet you. Glove on. Like he didn't have a glove on. Glove on. Handshake.
Right? Feeling is mutual.
Yes. I've heard a thing about you.
Yes, Sid really likes me. I'm sure he told you many things.
Soundly, Defixis is a passionate man. So.
Right, he's a passionate man.
Why are you here? You're not.
I'm gonna look to Melody and raise an eyebrow.
You're not purveyors of
Melody
the
sort of
magical
looks
arts.
quizzically back at him.
Fair.
Yes.
What is it
That's
you
just
need?
not very nice.
Perhaps, Fulcrum, you would be willing to look after the orb for a little bit longer. We were going to host a small private talk in our common room later on between some of the leaders. You are welcome to attend, of course. I'm sure Salni would appreciate your attending.
Whoa. You're hosting an off-the-record talk?
Yes, well,
It's
considering...
not really a talk. It's more of just a gathering.
Yes, it's a party. But considering what happened today, it might be worth trying to get everyone onto a better foot, or at least a more relaxed foot.
Well, yeah, if you're saying that there's going to be, some sort of proper dress for it and maybe some music and some dancing, usually people that are going to engage in that want some sort of notice, so they can visit a tailor and dress their best because they have to, like Peacock. You know what I mean?
You think Crespec
People
is going
already
to
have
visit?
proper clothing. They
That-
were just
that's
at a
true.
meeting.
There's a difference between clothing you wear to a meeting and clothing that you wear to a gala.
It's hard to force
not-
the deadless to dress.
It's not a gala.
Not exactly going to be high
If you just
class.
want to put them in a room with some popcorn and beer and hope that they're going to have a grand old time, it's not going
Yes,
to work out so
that
well.
is it. Exactly.
Well, we
The
also had
forefront of their
music.
mind, yeah, well, sure, but the forefront of their mind is going to be the event that they just partook in. It's not going to
Potential
be
assassination.
let's have fun.
Did you make a very good point?
What do
There
you
can not
suggest?
only be beer, there must
We've
be
got
wine as
music.
well.
No, it's more alcohol does not necessarily mean better time.
Are you sure?
And on that note, I was
How
thinking
many- how
perhaps my employee
How many
who
diplomatic gala
may
have
may
you been
not be
to?
my friend
Not
would
many.
perhaps go and pick some up.
Very few, actually.
I think that this is a terrible idea.
Me too.
Oh, see?
Well-
Let me guess. Are you the musical entertainment for the evening?
They didn't actually suggest that, but I probably would end up being.
Which
Not bad.
means it's an extra. One less pair of ears listening to the ground. I mean, that's just a foolish plan.
This wasn't intended to listen or gather information. It was intended to build hospitable
Trust.
relations.
And so we're gonna take the person with the most silvered tongue and slap it to a guitar?
I mean, that's what he does. So.
You know what else he does?
Have you seen him lick the guitar? It is magical.
It's not a guitar. It's a lute.
Are you sure? Because if you look right behind your shoulder.
It's funny because it's on his back as well.
It's not a guitar.
Oh, it looks more like a lute now. Totally. Ollie's pulling out his DM curses for.
No, Ollie's
for
just got
fourth
bored
level
of reading a random book.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
So anyways.
Fulcrum literally just being like, right, I'm bored now, reading.
All right, listen. This is a terrible idea. We don't know what kind of music any of them are interested in. What is a
Sid,
middle ground?
Sid, you worry too much. We have spoken to both
This
of them already.
And Fulcrum
It's not
casts a spell.
diplomatic.
Fulcrum
go.
casts silence on the room,
Oh, that's fair.
picks up the orb in the handkerchief, and walks out.
Sid will grab like something off of a table, preferably nothing breakable, and like hum it at him to like hit him in the shoulder.
No, he won't.
Just kind of like one of
because-
those to get his attention.
Because Sid is currently in the air, suspended by Melody's arms.
Melody never put him down.
I can grab something and throw
Picks
it.
like a twig out of her hair.
His legs kicking.
He sort of he flinches and then he looks down at the orb like.
Does he look back at all or no?
Yeah, he looks back at you. And he just leaves. He does have a little bit of a smile on his face. You can tell he's kind of pleased with himself with doing that. He just leaves.
Look at Vale and gesture.
And
at
what
him,
silence does,
like-
weirdly enough, is makes the entire area completely silent.
Yes.
Just to describe.
Belle's gonna start saying stuff in Elvish that you guys can't necessarily mouth read. But he says something to Salny, and then he says something to Gil, and then he says something to Melody, and then he says something to Amelia.
Oh, I'm gonna lip read this.
Very catharsis. For cathartic.
Because I
Give
can...
me a perception check then, Amelia, against nothing.
I mean,
It will just
I have
see.
advantage on very small objects. I feel like he has thin lips.
Wow.
They're thicker than most elves.
thick.
We should go back to playing Swords Without Numbers because apparently I can
You can
roll
roll in
better
that,
in that
game.
game.
You're not
Weirdly.
bad. I'm sorry you don't get the A.
I'm not even gonna roll. I roll.
Nah,
I'm
nah,
going to
it
that.
doesn't matter. It was in a language you
Well,
didn't
Amelia
speak
will like
anyway,
gesture like let's go, like to and like
Yeah.
walk out.
The room, and then sound comes back.
don't you?
Is Gil like still screaming as he leaves the room? So it's like,
I was like, oh,
Also, Melody's still carrying Sid unless he asks her to put him down.
Nope, he's fine with it. He's kind of one of those
he
like.
stopped giving a fuck a
soon as-
long time ago.
As soon as we come back to the sound,
Like,
I'll go.
on his shoulder.
I'll look to her and be like, hey, Melody,
Melody?
you forgot my bag back there.
Melody would pop him on her shoulder, go back, get the bag, and then sort of follow them out.
I like that. Right, I think now we want to prep for this. We want to invite all the
The named characters.
Lady
I
Builder,
just I don't think this is a good idea, guys.
I
Catalan.
think this will be fun.
I think the difference between fun and intelligence are pretty vast.
Oh,
so
and we
yeah,
will-
hold on.
I think you're creating a false dichotomy between the two.
I need to stop talking
If
for a
you
second.
want to gather information at this event, you are more than welcome to.
I think all of us need to stop talking for a second because there's a voice that we haven't heard yet. As a matter of fact, two of them. First of all, Gil, and then Melody. What are your opinions of this?
They've heard my opinion of this.
I didn't.
My opinion is that if one sideways comment is uttered, if one dodgy little joke is told and no one laughs, that could undermine the whole talks. People are fickle and subjective, even when being objective.
But they've already told bad jokes, and they've already had those things happen.
Oh yes, that was a
It's
bad
different
opener.
pretenses though. But then it was a meeting where things were expected to be rubbing, and this is a time when things are supposed to be happy, and then like
Yes.
slights are taken more
And
offensive
then-
when they're in a personal situation.
An attempted assassination happened. Like-
Yes, to all of them.
Which we foiled.
Yes, which means we're currently good guys. Why fuck that up?
They might feel a bit more relaxed talking about us. Talking around us, rather.
Melody, what do you think?
Melody.
Melody sort of looks confused and sort of stays silent for a few seconds. I guess being friends, good, but this complicated. Lots of important things. If dislike each other, bad. This dangerous idea.
Bless her, she's a star, isn't she?
So, do you think,
I
Melody?
mean, very well. We can just relax for the night, I suppose, and not do anything. That sounds interesting.
Well, honestly, I can get work done. But that aside, you've already made an announcement to the people. Can't you just do something different?
We haven't told anyone other than Fulcrum. And if Fulcrum turns up, we can say he's no longer invited because he silenced us all.
Honestly, I thought that was pretty funny.
Up to you.
A useful spell, no doubt. We could still have a party with just us. You still shaking your head, Gil? What? You don't think I'm cool enough to go to a party with you?
No, this whole... Why can...
Fine, we'll have a night in. I will cook again.
Oh, God. Okay. Sid. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Well, I've been wrong many other times in my life. I'm open to another opportunity.
Oh, that's a very mature point of view. Now, let's see. We need nice food. Probably I shouldn't cook it. Nice wine, nice beer, and it starts listing things.
Gonna have to spend money.
Taking a list.
Well, those two are probably like discussing this. Melody just walks over next to Gil, probably with Sid still on her shoulder, and just looks at Gil like with a clear look of "this isn't a good idea" sort of thing.
I'm roll a history check to the best of my knowledge. What is considered good food for both cultures? What is considered good drink?
I mean, deadless don't eat.
I know.
So yeah, you try and help. You hate the idea, but you're not an asshole.
Yeah, well, it's mostly a matter of like, and I understand that the death list is almost impossible because there's very little to reference it off of, but like for the little conversations I had, because I had it with them, what I picked up, try to find out what would be the best marrying of the things, What are you laughing at, Dean?
Neil like sucking a pepperami instead of just biting it.
He's acting weird. I'm trying to not acknowledge it. Anyway. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm literally just trying to find a gold cost for you, but I can never find sections in books I actually want to find, because I'm an idiot.
Japan, it's considered rude not to slap your pepperami.
Alright, okay, I see.
First of all, how dare you?
Okay, so back to the game.
Okay, so it's actually a rule for this. So how many people are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you'd probably serve for 10. It's 10 gold per person for a banquet.
100 gold.
100 gold. Which seems like
I
a
can
good
afford
price.
that.
Yeah, I put down half the gold for it.
Yeah, 50 each. I'll do that.
God.
Why is Gil and Amelia paying and not Vale and Amelia?
Because Gil convinced himself.
Sid thinks this is a terrible idea, but is there a band? Are there musicians in town?
Well, it just
Investigation
so
roll.
that a tiefling bard has just arrived. Look, guys, I brought Humble. No.
Ollie.
Also,
Investigation roll.
Listen said,
Oh,
if you
thank
want to live a very smart and humble life, you wouldn't be traveling with us.
Excuse me, you joined on later.
I'm just letting you know. If
And
you
they
wanted to live
found
a
me.
very smart and humble life, you would just take up
Actually-
farming.
They
Actually,
found me in a bag of holding. I think it's funny that you joined us like 3 weeks ago, and now you're interjecting like I'm the new person.
I mean, Salny does owe us his life. Admittedly.
That is also not true.
Are you saying you would have been able to survive in that bag?
Probably.
You were blue in the face when we got you out. A little bit longer, and you would have.
I couldn't see color at that time, so I'm not sure how accurate that statement is.
Just like
Well,
vague.
if this is the conversation we're having, I do recall a situation where both of you two were dying, knocked out, dying, whatever, and I administered healing potions. So
Well,
I'm sorry.
So while this conversation ends, Sid goes and gets a band.
Abilities?
I'm just-
'Cause I'm not even an adventurer.
if you are ever dying,
we don't
I
know
will
what
not-
you are.
I will not.
An inventor! An inventor! Some people say artificer, some people say tinkerer, some people just say typical gnome. Whatever the case may be.
For this, well, he's looking up random encounters now. How to discipline your
So
party.
Sid, you find a bard. Actually, you ask around, and it turns out that apparently some elves just entered the city, and one of them is a songman, a guy by the name
A
of
songman. A
Hernardwen.
song elf.
Hernardwen. It would be song elf. You're right, but this is talking to a dwarf, and dwarves definitely never use the correct terms. And you can find that guy, and that would be part of the cost for the banquet for paying him if you want him. That's absolutely fine.
Okay. I mean, part of the cost, because I was going to pay extra if to like upgrade things, but if it's part of the cost, that's fine.
Nah, it's easier.
Okay,
The
cool.
liar.
So,
Which one is
the
the
musician involved in there. Awesome. Okay, and then,
the hand
Erin, I remember the conversation we had at Skype before, but did we ever have the conversation in game about cultural things, sports and whatnot?
No, we didn't. I
Considering you're planning on having this in
briefly?
your common room, there's no room for spurts.
That's fine.
I brought up the idea of like dueling briefly, but no, not really.
Yeah, we ended up teaching that as tag. Well, it.
Yeah, we brought up, like tag. Like I was obviously looking for like different ways to channel the aggression, but like not in like
Sports!
We did teach them tag though. So.
Okay, so this is pointless bullshit. So you organize the event, you go in person, and you're like, hey, we're actually doing a little get together for everyone. And actually, everyone seems pretty invested. Lady Builder's like, hey, it's okay. I didn't assume you were part of the NPCs that are being invited to the party, Dean. So you can
No,
take
I was
your
going to
sass.
roleplay inviting him.
You could take
Yeah,
your
okay.
sass.
No, there's no sense.
And you
I
can
was going to invite
shove
him.
it where the sun doth don't shine.
Did you hear a word of what I just said?
Yeah, I know. But you can shove it.
Okay.
Lady Builder's just kind of happy for the distraction, and when you mention that there's wine, she's like, yes, please. Catalan doesn't seem like the kind of... It's like, a party? What is... Why? Why would we having a party? Like, but eventually
party?
you
Has
convince
someone got the pox?
it is a sort of... Is someone dying? Has there been another assassination? Like, that sort of thing. And Casbak's like, why not? You usually bring me good drinks. Why not? And goes. Of course, it does get a little awkward when everyone joins up in the room. But the Elvish Bard is playing a little bit of tunage, so it's how awkward can it be? Because actually, that song's really nice, really relaxing. Maybe old Gilwyn doesn't appreciate it. So you set up in your common room with everyone. So it's actually quite close. Oh, and I almost goes without saying that the undead elf followed with Casbak.
But not on the horse. I imagine.
No, because you're in tiny dwarven corridors. So not on the horse.
Where does he keep the horse?
Good question. Where's Gilwin keeping his horse?
On my ass. Along with my sass.
Ass. So, Visual starts. You have all the nice foods and stuff, and Lady Builder like immediately is a glass of red wine. It's what she needs. She knows it. It's actually quite a cold night, so you light the fireplace in the area, and you need to start calming people down and setting a mood for your party.
Hells yeah.
Go ahead. This is a dead mood right now.
Sid is intentionally just kind of like hanging back, like,
Me too.
yeah, like I'll watch, you know. I'm just,
Like, so
I'm
far,
here.
it's real awkward. Like, Caspec's like,
Yep.
you know, I've never eaten one of these things. And Catalan's like, well, have you tried it? And he's like, no, if I eat it now, it would simply fall through my desecrated remains and fall on the floor.
Which is interesting
Yep.
because
Yeah.
it makes the Deathless such a more fearsome mercenary group. They don't need to eat. They don't need supplies. Oh, there's nothing more scary than an army that doesn't need supplies. Am I right?
I'm still curious about how they know how these creatures still have such boundless energy. I can tell with the elf, you could see it burning within him, that's understandable. But you, I don't understand. I don't understand it at all. It's
Catalan,
it will be to have frivolous
during your
reason.
time here at the party, I would request that you don't refer to the Deathless as creatures, but as people. If you don't adhere to this request, I'll kick you out.
Yeah. And he closes his little smelling salt box. He stays there. He doesn't say anything.
Good.
You definitely
That's,
cheered up the mood. You didn't cheer up the mood. If
Melody,
anything, it's worse.
Melody would actually, at some point, like completely irrelevant to the rest of the conversation and mood of the room, she would go up to the undead elf and start talking to him in Sylvan.
You try. So like everyone else is sitting down because you have a bunch of chairs. You talk to the elf and he kind of tries to ignore you for the first 10 minutes.
But she's like Melody just doesn't give up, and she's like asking.
I can realize.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then eventually he's just like,
Hey.
"What is it you want?"
You mention band of two, Melody and Raj. What
Yes.
do you mean?
Your Fae is not from my wilds. In the Fae wilds, Fae are either in a court, as am I, or in a band, as are you. A band of two. This is something that should not need be explained. It seems that even though it almost addled you, it hasn't explained very much. Which is...
You're speaking too softly.
Yeah, I lost.
Oh no, I was speaking too softly! I was being a creepy elf guy. Basically said that even though you're a band 2, she really should have taught you this.
Yeah, and that being a band of 2 is wrong as well.
Not necessarily that it's wrong, just as you should know. And it's
right.
weird. Not necessarily it's wrong, it's just it's strange. It's not disgust, it's just
Vale's
displeasure, I
gonna.
guess. You can't understand this conversation, of course.
No. He's in the main group. He's gonna
Well, you could put the
regale.
hat on.
He's gonna tell them about High Thundrel.
Sure.
And its creation and that sort of thing, because it's a marble.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll to lighten the mood.
Hells yeah, I will.
This actually does interest people. Lady Builder's one of those kind of people who does actually like hearing people's stories, so she asks some maybe a little too personal questions. Catalan is interested. He doesn't really talk much. Occasionally he'll ask things mostly about how do the buildings fly? How do the buildings fly? Which Vale doesn't really know.
It's an ancient form of magic that has been lost to time.
And Kasbag listens and occasionally laughs. You haven't told a joke, but he laughs. But it does actually lighten the mood because they're all interested in Halas, and the weird elf that isn't sitting down is kind of talking to Melody. So actually, it works.
Melody will continue bothering him for information
I
on
assumed.
the Feywild.
I assume.
And will occasionally occasionally talk to Raj as well, and sort of like, because Raj isn't appearing to him, so she will just like randomly look off to Raj. And...
He knows what's going on. He just can't do
Yeah.
anything about it. So the party, it's happening. It's not a good party. You know, in The Sims, when you host a party, it's like Bronze Star, Silver Star, Gold Star. You're a Bronze. People aren't gonna super regret that they came because they didn't have anything else to do. They're not very entertained. They know
They're
that
not entertained.
They're entertained by that, but then like eventually you have to stop talking, and they're like,
Yeah, well, I have another subject to talk about. I'm going to talk about the difference between the boats in Aradia and the boats on the high sea, and how a canal system contributes to an effective economy.
Why do you? Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
Hold on, wait a second. Don't roll that yet. I don't know. I feel like Salmi would actually be interested in this
I was gonna say
conversation.
this conversation is sparking.
And I would
I'm
actually
quite
like
interested.
to. Yeah, hold on. Wait a second. Where's the? I want to just let you go. Here, I gotta click this, and then I gotta click this.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say this definitely should be. a
Which means
history
you
check.
get with a lot of historical facts, you get advantage +2.
Advantage +2.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Well, this is still a persuasion because you're trying to cheer peeps up.
+2, 16.
I
16.
think you got that +2.
This conversation is long and detailed, and now it's Sid asking questions. And did you say, Amelia, that Amelia's interested?
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, Kasbak definitely doesn't care. He
What
actually
is
ends
with
up.
this DC?
He actually ends up
Near
just having a
impossible.
different conversation with Lady Builder, who was interested, but then is having this conversation.
Perfect.
Catalan listens, and you can tell that the elf is listening, that the undead elf is listening when Melody isn't talking. You know, like... sort of thing.
I would also bring up like the idea of like games, because we'd start.
You want to
how
play
the
some
Deltas were
games?
interested in
Yeah,
no,
we
how
could
the
play
Deltas
some
were
fight
like
games.
interested
Oh.
in tag.
Yeah, that would get Kasbak talking about how I was like...
I
oh,
know they were
we
super
have-
interested in tag, and like I know like Lichvale probably has a dueling culture, seeing
We
that
have
they
a
have like
lot of-
nobles.
a lot of time on our hands. We don't need all the time you need to sleep, so we spend it having fun, which is how many mortals spend their time sleeping, if you know what I mean. But of course, and that's kind of how that conversation goes, comparing games and sex. But it's kind of amusing, and these jokes actually last, they land. So good one. And actually, he does say if anyone has any cards that he'll happily play.
Yeah,
Do you have cards?
I don't have cards, but I assume somebody does.
I would like to play a game of chess. I mean, if somebody wants to play chess, completely.
Do you have a chessboard?
It was part
No.
of my background.
I have a
Oh, if you have,
have.
do you have the chessboard or the chessboard skill?
It comes. The gaming set comes with your background too.
Yeah, then sure, you have one.
Like,
you
hold
can-
on, here you go.
You could do some chess.
And I imagine it's like an obnoxious set that's made out of like different gears and
Yeah,
whatnot.
Kasbak is not interested. Catalan will play chess with you though.
Thank God. Take him out of the combo.
But does no one have cards?
I have
No,
dice.
Vale,
I have
Vale
dice.
has cards.
Then
I have dice.
dice. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll play some games of dice, and that gets some people.
All
involved
right,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah, but this is how you play dice on a ship, and I will reach for one of the bottles of wine,
Yeah.
and I will add another element in, and I will.
You start a drinking game.
Yeah, I will adjust some of the elements so they're not quite so piratey.
You definitely need to do a persuasion for drinking game.
You guys
It's
should just
not-
play 3-man. That'll get the
Actually,
party going.
I'll participate because I give
Sure.
them advantage.
Yes,
On the roll.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Consistent.
Consistent.
Consistency.
Caspac, definitely. Lady Builder is one of those things where I want to play the game, I don't necessarily want to have to drink all the time, but when you're playing, and she's like, she goes past the glass and a half full of red wine, which is the perfect amount of drunk, she's playing for keeps. And the elf is actually interested, but isn't playing the game. So you guys start playing this dice game, getting drunk. Do the rest of the party play?
That's
I mean,
probably
Sid's
really
busy.
interesting because Amelia doesn't drink normally.
Oh boy.
Melody, do you play? No, you're probably busy. Do Gilwin play?
Mathis back in the day like never drank ever, and I mean like he wouldn't even have a single beer ever. So when we would play drinking games, he would drink soda because he also doesn't drink soda because he'd be like the bubbles burn my throat, it's uncomfortable. So we would make him play with Sprite because he was like more upset about drinking Sprite than he would be about drinking a beer. I'm like, watch a little wizard burn.
God, he is a
That's
fucking.
So
nerd.
I'm gonna need all of you to roll me. They're playing the game to roll me a Constitution check.
Is it a save?
No, it's a check.
It's a check. Well, so it's just flat.
You just click the Constitution, yeah.
I suppose. Well, that's reasonable.
Appropriate description. I heard appropriate description.
Right?
I'm gonna use luck.
Sure, you can.
That's better.
I'd still beat you.
So this is how it goes. You start playing this game, and it's very clear. Lady Builder's already, again, a glass and a half full in, and her and Amelia are definitely the first people out. Now, she hangs on a little longer because she has more experience being drunk, but she is like a aunt at a party drunk, where she's just like a mess. But doesn't know she's a mess and trying not to be a mess, but she's having fun. She's very much unwinding, that sort of thing. Then, to no surprise, Caspac drinks a lot, but he actually gets drunk, and eventually he loses the game and gets drunk. But he kind of like, it's one of those things where maybe he deliberately lost the game because he doesn't want to drink anymore. And it ends up being between Gilwin and Vale, where you both drink a ridiculous amount. Gilwin doesn't feel the drink as much, because that's actually just something about him, is that he's a very good drinker. But by the end of the evening, you're both rather drunk. But Vale ultimately wins these many games that you play.
Vale would probably be like, "Oi!" and like give Gil the old showboaty fingers and whatnot. And have a little bit of a drunk dance in victory. And then probably like stop when he sees like the elf looking at him, and then be like,
The elf kind of actually gives you a nod. and he'll say in Elvish to you, is like, "You drank of the poison. Good. You understand. Poison can be good to one's body in some ways."
Vale's like, he's pretty pissed at this point. He just nods.
And then
turns
there's a
around
knock
to
at the
Gil.
door.
Vale will go and get it, I suppose.
There's an elf there. An elf wearing very noble clothes. It's not armor, it's very noble. If you were sober, you'd notice that it's elven garb, but actually the patterns on it are dwarven. He has long black hair that's actually tied up with a very ornate clasp.
Do we still have the guards outside our
Yes.
room? Okay.
But this guy has their own guard. Actually, the guard looks familiar. With the elf is a human woman.
Oh boy.
And the elf in armor, and the elf just kind of looks at you and smiles, looking in. It's like, "I heard that there was a party of the delegates of the peace conference. We arrived early. We were expecting to arrive tomorrow morning. I hope it's not inappropriate for me to be part of this."
Doesn't like cross his arms. Who are you?
My name is Lamriel Fenos. I'm a feather talker from Aradia, here to discuss potential trade deals while all of this is going on in Lichvale. What is the phrase that dwarves would use here? To slay 2 lizards with 1 stone?
Well, Lamriel Fennis, come on in. And who
Yes.
is this?
This is Caitlin Halen. She's my protection. And she, imagine,
Hello.
walks in and realizes that it's all of you. And you realize it's her. And that's where we're gonna leave it for today. We'll work out what's going on with that next week.
Hello, I'm Slade.
Slade is not with them.
Because he's a fucking old man now, that's why. He's an old man, he's trying not to die.
He is trying not to die. So, ooh, plot twist. So, let us start our circle of shame with Erin, Rinsin. Who are you? How are you? How are you feeling?
Well, you just said those things. I'm Aaron. I'm Rinsen.
I mean, I know, but-
I play D&D. I'm doing pretty good. So that's my life.
Hangover's gone now.
Good. No, yeah, he's not.
It's better. It's better.
How much did you drink last night?
A lot. Too much.
Speaking of drinking a lot, Vale, who be you?
Hey, I actually don't drink much IRL. I
I don't drink any IRL. Does IRL taste good?
That's a
Scott,
new
this is
one. It's
my
like
time.
IPA.
This is my time.
You
Much
can't
of
break
it.
the circle of shame. You will be shamed.
I'm Neil. I'm long-time Ollie friend. I played D&D with him on Monday, with Ian as well, in another game set in Jarviskjir, who my half-brother has just turned up from.
This is the
Yeah.
brother of his character in the Monday
Medals.
game, which
Hey.
is why they reacted as they
So he
did.
better not kill him, or I'll go round there and break his knees. And I play lots of D&D with Ollie. And I am like the
Obsessed
Jafar to
with the-
Ollie's little pudgy sultan in Aladdin.
Okay.
Or
I am-
Iago.
I was gonna say, was that Iago? But no, I appreciate the
and
Sultan.
then Ian's like my Iago.
Okay, I'll accept that.
I feel like Ian's more of a Jafar and you're definitely more of an Iago.
So
I-
with that,
Like
Dean.
crackers?
Dean, who are you?
I'm
What,
Dean.
me? No, I thought
You
did
can-
you say Dean or Ian?
Dean! There's
Dean.
a circle here, people!
Yeah, I'm looking at Skype.
We
I'm
don't
not looking
see
at-
your circle. We
I
see however
know!
Skype
You
displays
should
it.
be elevated
We
to
have
see
been.
my sight beyond sight.
We have been fractious today.
Yeah.
Dean.
I'm Dean Cutty.
That you can't do that now! You can't do that now! It's not how it.
Where'd he go?
Ah.
Maybe he's
Oh,
Where's
okay.
Dean?
If he's dropping
This-
the mic,
this
he
Skype
didn't
crash
realize he's not the last person to go. So now
Did
it's an
this
audio
Skype crash?
podcast because everything breaks because he left. No, that was
No,
definitely
it's still alright on the stream.
that was a mic drop.
It wasn't super broken.
I'm not doing it. I have
His
standards.
Skype crashing. That's funny.
Right,
Who's
audio-
next?
Audio stream.
So Dean is Dean Cuddy. Find him at Dean Cuddy. Hashtag Dean Cuddy. Well,
That was
at Dean
perfect
Cuddy.
timing though for his Skype.
Scott, who are you? Glaze them in your voice.
I'm Scott. You can find me at Delric. It says it somewhere, like there-ish or there-ish or there-ish.
You're
or
not.
there-ish.
You're not visible right now.
Okay, that's fine.
We're voices.
It says it on a box. It
Voices
says Delric.
in the dark.
Google that. You'll find me. Or you'll find me live in exactly 3 hours over on Twitch.tv/Lost Initiative Show. That's all. Join the Discord.
I just reacted physically and realized I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
need to.
Do join the Discord because it's actually really nice.
It's a good place.
You get to see Erin be mean to Scott and Scott not
true.
have anything to say back.
I actually say stuff back all the time.
He says stuff
I'm
back all
always
the time.
right. She just goes, but I'm a girl.
No, we're not doing this. I'm Ollie. I am an art lad. I do D&D art, and I'm going to do some on Friday. And after that, I'm going to do a RimWorld game. Although, actually, there might not be an art stream this Friday. We'll see. And on Sunday, there might not be a game stream. We'll see. But this stream will be on next Wednesday. Hopefully.
Indeed, next Wednesday for
Wednesday.
the big
Wednesday.
Caitlin return. Ollie, no one can see those wavy arms.
Alright.
Wacky, playable wavy
We're
arms.
going. We're off. This has been... Oh, for fuck's sake. Bye!
guys.
Comb your hair. Comb
No.
your hair.
You're not my real dad.